right, Stephanie, thank you. Midland County residents are demanding some answers from lawmakers tonight, many desperate to have their homes and their businesses rebuilt before winter. As Mid-Michigan Now's Remy Murray reports, the Small Business Administration is there getting feedback on how Washington can do more to help.
After months following the historic flooding in Midland County, and specifically here in Sanford, the community says they aren't pleased with how lawmakers are handling this situation.
There are a lot of people in my position, and they seem to not be doing their jobs on our behalf.
Stacy Summers still emotional after she says the flooding left her and her 3-year-old son homeless. Now more disappointment after being turned away from a meeting with the Small Business Association and lawmakers.
On our arrival, we were told that there was a clerical mistake made by the township and that we would not be allowed in unless we were on an RSVP list.
What we had is township officials, city officials, state officials, people who really are kind of the people who needed to be first briefed on it, and then we're making this time available to meet with any individual who has concerns, any resident.
But Summers says this isn't enough and says it's important for their voices to be heard as decisions are being made.
They made a big error here. They could have fixed the problem. They could have brought everyone outside. They could have socially distanced. They could have allowed us to participate in this meeting, but they were completely unwilling to do so. And that's a letdown.
In July, President Donald Trump approved the state's request for a major disaster declaration of more than $43 million in federal funding following the flooding. This allowed individuals and businesses to receive federal help from organizations like the Small Business Administration.
We're working very hard. It is a long-term process, and when you consider the historic flooding, there are a number of things that need to be done on an emergency basis. Now we're in the recovery process.
Congressman Molinar says the process could move quicker and says he's working to get more resources to the area, one of which is the new registration deadline for FEMA and SBA disaster assistance until September 30th.
This gives us a little bit more time. We're also going to ask for a continued extension, but again, that may or may not be granted. But I think the end of September is a good deadline for right now, and we want to express the urgency to get those applications in.
I've been denied by FEMA, and I'm working on an appeal process, but that's a process all on its own.
Molinar encourages people who have been denied by either FEMA or SBA to reapply, even if they've been severely impacted by the pandemic. SBA offers a reconsideration phase where Molinar and representatives say they're available to help. For more information, visit midmichigannow.com. In Sanford, Remy Murray, Mid-Michigan Now.
All right, let's head outside, take a live look at Bay City tonight. It's Thursday. We like to call that Friday Eve. Things cooling off a bit. You might want to pull out a hoodie.
Most definitely, and you're going to want to keep that handy over the next few days. Some of the afternoons won't be too bad, but definitely once we head into the evenings and mornings, it's definitely going to be chilly. We're getting the taste of fall, and it's all thanks to a cold front that moved through, and you can still see a line of some showers along that front. Now it is moving into Ohio and down to our south and east, so it has cleared Michigan. We're not going to be seeing any more showers from this front, but we do have an isolated shower trying to still move in with an area of low pressure to our north. But this front again passed through earlier. We saw a big drop in temperatures this afternoon, and you can see it with the showers there, but you can also see the line in the temperatures. Isn't that kind of cool? So the cold front's continuing to push off to the south and east. You can see that cooler air behind it, still pretty warm in the upper 70s and some lower 80s ahead of that front. But we're going to be focusing more so on 70s over the next few days, even a few locations in the upper 60s, such as West Branch. Tomorrow, you may only see highs right around 68 degrees, but we'll at least see mostly sunny skies, perhaps just a little bit of extra cloud cover into portions of the afternoon. And it will be a little bit on the breezier side once again. Not as windy as today, but we could still see some wind gusts between about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Now, as we move a little bit more inland, Durand, you'll see temperatures right around 71 degrees. Still working in mostly sunny skies as well as breezy conditions. We've actually got high pressure that will be settling in, keeping us dry as we head through your Friday. Port Austin, you'll be tapping out right around 70 degrees. You'll see a few upper 60s in the thumb as well. And again, we'll see a little bit of extra cloud cover trying to move into the afternoon, but generally mostly sunny skies across mid-Michigan. So we're quieting things down as we head through the rest of the overnight, and we're going to be staying dry. That goes for your Friday morning as well. We actually should be staying dry throughout the day Friday because we have high pressure settling in. The Futurecast is trying to pull in some very spotty showers by the evening, but I don't think we are going to be seeing this. However, it looks like we could see a chance for a few light showers trying to move in as we head into Saturday morning. It looks to be a little bit lighter in nature, and we'll just see it primarily through the morning hours as it does dive a little bit more so to our south and east. So I think up until about noon is a chance we'll see some of those showers. Anything after noon, I don't think we are going to be holding on to that chance. So through a good portion of your Saturday, we should be on the drier side, even working in a little bit more sunshine, but temperatures are going to remain cooler. Now, if you need to get out and wash the car, Friday is looking good. Saturday is not a washout. Sunday, though, we will see another chance for some showers and storms, mainly as we head into the afternoon and late. That looks like it will carry over into your Labor Day morning. Labor Day does not look like a washout, but temperatures you can see through the next 7 days are going to be in the 70s. We'll see an actual better chance for some showers and storms by Tuesday and Wednesday.
More politics here. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden planning to visit Michigan. That happens on Wednesday. No word yet on specifically where he will appear, but it will be his first trip to the state since before the pandemic started. Stay with us here on Mid-Michigan Now for updates on the trip and also full coverage. Well, with Biden back on the campaign trail now, he's visiting Kenosha, Wisconsin, just 2 days after the president's stop there. Mr. Biden's visit differing from the president's in that he met with Jacob Blake's family and, in fact, spoke to Blake himself on the phone.
He talked about how nothing was going to defeat him, how whether he walked again or not, he was not going to give up.
Snyder is the latest Republican to jump the party ship and throw his support behind Joe Biden. Snyder says he's still GOP, but he will not vote for the president, who he calls a bully. Snyder feels Biden has the desire to heal a deeply divided nation. State GOP Chair Laura Cox could care less, asking on Twitter if Snyder really thinks Michigan voters care who he would support. She calls the former governor Mr. Irrelevant and predicts the president will win Michigan in November. Speaking of the president, he's holding a campaign rally in Biden's native state, Pennsylvania, which is a key battleground. The event taking place at the Arnold Palmer Regional Airport there in Latrobe. That's about 40 miles from Pittsburgh. The latest Quinnipiac University poll that's out tonight shows the president is trailing his challenger by 8 points in Pennsylvania. Other recent polls have shown the president only down 3 points in that state. In addition to who will win the White House, who will control the two chambers on Capitol Hill is another eagerly awaited outcome during this election cycle. It can determine how industries are regulated, which programs get funded, which ones get cut, not to mention cabinet and Supreme Court confirmations. Tonight, Sinclair National correspondent James Rosen sizes up the odds for a change in either chamber.
While the world awaits the winner in President Trump's battle for re-election against Democratic nominee Joe Biden, executives at major American companies, from big tech to oil and gas, from the tourism industry to the financial services sector, are waiting with equal suspense to see who will control the Congress. The Democrats, under House Speaker Nancy Pelosi of California, control the House by a margin of 232 to 199 seats, with 218 seats needed for the majority. It's a relatively large margin, and insiders see little likelihood of the House flipping to the GOP.
Republicans are still struggling in the areas that we lost in 2018 that made a difference, particularly in the suburbs.
Brendan Buck served as press secretary to House Speaker John Boehner, then as counselor to Speaker Paul Ryan.
Those districts were difficult for us to hang on to, and then those members, those Democrats who came in and took those seats, have raised a lot of money.
In the Senate, under Republican Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, the GOP enjoys a majority of 53 to 45, with 51 seats needed for a majority. The Cook Political Report sees almost all 12 Senate Democrats defending their seats this year, retaining them easily, but more than half a dozen Republicans facing tough contests. Here, too, the balloting of 2018 is seen as instructive.
A whole lot of people who voted for Donald Trump voted for Democratic House and Senate candidates in 2018. And a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump voted for Obama. And so it means the entire Republican brand, even in Republican-leaning states, is down.
For Democrats to regain control of the Senate, they will need to win 4 seats outright or win just 3 seats along with control of the White House. In that case, any 50-50 tie votes in the upper chamber would be broken by the sitting vice president. In Chesapeake Bay, Maryland, James Rosen.
Well, that leads to our question tonight. Should there be a change in party leadership in either the House or the Senate? Right now, the clear majority says yes. It would be interesting to know which chamber or chambers folks feel should see that leadership change, but I guess that's a question for another time. You can still take part in this poll if you visit midmichigannow.com/question. Fall sports are back. Jonathan has a reaction to the governor's big announcement, and he details how the MHSAA will move forward with football. Also tonight, speaking of football, does Jim Harbaugh know something the rest of us don't? He has apparently told his team the Big Ten might return. Stick around for the details. After a 2-month battle with COVID-19, one patient says his medical bills topped $1 million. Right now, there's no concrete figure for the global pandemic's true financial impact, but it is expensive, and we may all end up paying that bill. Sinclair investigative correspondent Josie Sturman looks at the cost in this Spotlight on America.
Wow.
That's 181 pages of expenses.
You can call Michael Floor the $1 million man. After 62 days in a hospital and another 2 weeks in a rehab facility, he went home after beating coronavirus with a stunning souvenir, a $1.1 million bill.
Even though I knew it was going to be expensive, when you see it in writing and you see your name on it, it was like very startling.
Thousands of charges came with the monumental effort it took to save Floor's life. He says he had pneumonia, heart and kidney failure, had to be put on a ventilator twice. At one point, doctors told his family he wasn't going to make it.
I don't remember any of the call, frankly. Hearing my wife describe it, it was difficult.
But Floor was lucky. Not only did he make a full recovery, thanks to Medicare, supplemental insurance, and congressional funding that helps hospitals defray pandemic costs, he only had to cover about $3,000 of that $1 million bill.
But you don't want to see people go into financial ruin just because they get sick.
No, absolutely not. They're fighting for their lives. And the last thing they need to worry about, or their family needs to worry about, is how much is this going to cost?
The cost of coronavirus varies from patient to patient. According to one national survey that looked at healthcare claims to estimate cost, the average charge for a COVID-19 hospitalization is $73,000 for someone without insurance. With insurance, that drops to about $38,000.
The entire globe is going to have a bill to pay for COVID.
Rebecca Owen is a member of the American Academy of Actuaries who works to evaluate trends and costs in healthcare. She says the impact on our bottom line, from taxes to insurance premiums, is still being determined.
There's going to be a lot of costs, not just in healthcare. States who have expanded Medicaid, that is going to cost more money, and Medicaid rules are paid for by taxpayers. So what happens with premiums is one thing, but what happens with the entire system is that COVID's going to be expensive.
Which could mean more strain on the system and more shared costs. But as dollars are calculated, lives are rebuilt. Michael Floor, one of the country's first COVID-19 patients, is back in the gym, regaining his strength and treasuring the time he gets with family. But he's still keeping an eye on the mailbox.
I'm not expecting any follow-up bills that say this is what you owe. Keep my fingers crossed. I haven't seen anything that says paid in full yet.
I'm Josie Sturman for Spotlight on America.
Now, another factor here is the long-term effect COVID-19 can have, especially with people who have chronic illnesses. If those patients need further care, and hospitalization down the line, it could mean even more cost in the future. Well, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex now have a deal with a popular streaming service. Prince Harry and his wife Meghan signing a multi-year production agreement with Netflix. The couple will produce nature series, documentaries, and children's programming, and they say several projects are already in the works. They plan to shine a light on people and causes around the world, creating content that both informs and gives hope. You may recall the Duke and Duchess cut their royal ties earlier this year and moved to California. You'll get more trending stories just like that one on Daily Mail TV with Jesse Palmer. It's coming up right after Mid-Michigan Now.
Here's your Mid-Michigan Now Sports Report.
I appreciate it. You know, we get to play football. Thank you. Let's go play football.
I'm glad that they finally opened, but also wondering, like, from their perspective, like, why they waited so long to open.
I love y'all. Thank you. I love y'all.
Those just some of the reactions from high school athletes in the area to today's news that all fall sports are 100% go starting next week. It's naive to think that we are back to normal because of this, but this definitely makes it feel like we're heading in that direction. Football, volleyball, soccer, swimming, and diving have been waiting for the word that competition can begin. All fall sports minus football will have their postseason tournament as scheduled. Football will change a little bit. We'll get there. Games and matches will certainly look and feel different with limited attendance, but in a year of change and adjustments, this is just one more thing on the list.
I refuse to say the new normal because this isn't normal, and I don't want this to be normal. You know, we want to return to packed gyms and you know, student bodies that are supporting one another and cheering each other on, and community events that we can all pull together for.
They're fired up to play, so they're going to probably listen a little better than they ever have before. They're probably going to take direction a little better than they ever have before, and couldn't be more excited, couldn't be more happy for the kids and the moms and the dads.
As I alluded to, the football season looking slightly different as teams will play a 6-game regular season schedule. Starting with the originally scheduled Week 4 matchups, every team will play at least 7 games as all teams will be heading to the playoffs this year. Dates for the championships games have been pushed back. The 8-player state finals will be November 27th and 28th, while the 11-player finals are set for December 4th and December 5th. And while we wait for more clarity on what's next for the Big Ten football season, Michigan offensive lineman Ryan Hayes revealed today that Jim Harbaugh is keeping the door open to playing this fall.
So lately we've been just training for the combine. Our coaches haven't really told us much because I don't think they know either. But yesterday before practice, Coach Harbaugh did say, like, we could possibly play in October just to give us a little motivation. So just to keep practicing hard, we're going to be prepared. And so we have mentioned October, but nothing's for sure.
2 real-life, actual college football games being played tonight. Central Arkansas and UAB. This one 28-21 in the third quarter. The later game, it's South Alabama taking on Southern Mississippi at the half. South Alabama in the lead, 13-10. Oh, it just feels good to actually read a actual football score for the first time in months. All right, stay with us. We got a final check of your forecast when we come back.
Oh, let's ask the expert. Can we sleep with the windows open tonight?
I mean, I guess if you're brave enough and you want to brave some lower 50s, sure, why not? Definitely a little bit on the cooler side, but again, we have got some lower 50s primarily as we head through the overnight. We might see a few locations with some upper 40s, so just grab some extra blankets. Tomorrow morning, still looking at temperatures in the lower 50s, but at least we're staying dry for the morning commute. We're dry through the day tomorrow. Just a little on the cooler side, mainly some lower 70s. We could see a few locations, especially if you're along the lakeshore, with some upper 60s, but why not get outside and grill? We've got more sunshine on tap for your Friday.
You can always grill in my mind. Thanks for joining us, folks. Daily Mail TV is up next here on Fox. The news continues on NBC 25.
Now,
after the governor's sudden announcement, the owner of a local fitness center says he's ready to open his doors. The details coming up.
Fall high school sports are back. We have the timeline for when competitions begin.
And we're getting a taste of fall. We'll talk about how long this temperature trend is going to be lasting. That's coming up in weather.
The November election is a little more than 2 months away now. The candidates people are favoring across mid-Michigan will tell you ahead.
Live from NBC 25 in Flint, this is Mid-Michigan Now.
So gyms were just given the green light now by the governor to reopen. Gretchen Whitmer also said sports activities can resume as well. As for gyms, rec centers, similar facilities like that, they can open on next Wednesday, but only at 25% capacity. Masks will be required at all times, except if you are swimming. Workout stations, they are being told, need to be spaced out according to social distancing guidelines. And of course, hand sanitizer, disinfectant wipes, those must be readily available, among other stipulations. Now, bowling alleys, roller rinks, and ice rinks, they can reopen as well, but only for the sole purpose of serving as a venue for organized sports, such as bowling leagues. Now, Mid-Michigan Now's Alicia Bergio was able to catch up with a fitness center in Flint Township. And Alicia, the owners there, they've got to be pretty happy to hear this announcement from the governor.
After nearly 6 months of no indoor workouts, the owners of TrueFit here in Flint Township say they're anxiously waiting to welcome their customers back inside despite all the governor's restrictions. Upright position. Until now, outdoor workouts have been a reality for many gyms and fitness centers.
Midsummer, we decided enough was enough, and we had to get the doors open in some capacity.
Jeremy Sims, the co-owner of TrueFit, says the grand opening was originally planned for April, but the governor's orders,
I want to make sure that we get this right,
and the pandemic pushed things back.
It's felt a little bit unfair, but there's science behind it. If gyms being shut down was the price for safety, then that's the price for safety.
24 hours after the governor's Wednesday press conference, where she hinted at the possibility of additional businesses reopening,
we will be making some determinations in the very near future.
It finally happened, but with restrictions.
Super excited about it. This is what we've been waiting for. It's a good step in the right direction.
Sims says he and his staff will be busy this holiday weekend cleaning and moving things around to meet the new guidelines, which includes 25% capacity and a mask being worn at all times.
I know it's going to be unfortunate. It's not going to be desirable, but if that's what we need to do to be open is wear masks inside while we're working out, that's what we're going to do.
Sims says his primary focus is to maintain social distancing, so he's going to be placing labels all over the ground to make sure people know exactly where to move. He also says that no one shares equipment to begin with, so it's just a matter of moving all outdoor workouts inside. In Flint Township, Alicia Bergio, Mid-Michigan Now.
Well, football was initially pushed to the spring, and sports like volleyball, soccer, swimming, and diving, they were all practicing but outdoors and waiting for the next step. Well, tonight, kids, coaches, parents, they all have the news they wanted. Fall sports are back. The MHSAA making that decision after the governor's big announcement. As for schedules, soccer can begin competition right now. Volleyball, swimming, and diving can start on Wednesday. Football will start practice on Tuesday, but they won't start playing games until September 17th and 18th. Coming up a bit later in sports, Jonathan Deutsch has student athletes' reaction to these decisions and what their message is to the governor and the MHSAA tonight. Let's check out tonight's coronavirus numbers. 685 new cases reported in Michigan. The total now 104,395. MDHHS also reports 10 new deaths, all but one found in death certificates. The total lost is now 6,519. Governor Whitmer is also extending her COVID-19 state emergency order tonight. It's now going until October 1st. This allows the state to continue mobilizing resources and taking necessary steps to protect us all against the coronavirus.
Meanwhile, COVID-19 cases at Central Michigan University are continuing to go up. The health department reports 247 now are related to students returning to campus. 15 of those cases are probable, I want to point out. A reminder, though, there's an emergency order too in effect that limits all gatherings in Mount Pleasant in that area to 25 people or less. And as those numbers rise, CMU President Bob Davies is asking students to limit their travel for the upcoming Labor Day weekend. He says other holiday weekends have produced surges in the COVID numbers and the cases, so he wants students to really stay home, avoid parties, and of course mask up. Well, let's get you a look outside now here into downtown Flint through our Mid-Michigan Now Skynet camera. A little quieter after some showers and storms for some of us across Mid-Michigan this afternoon. But I know Ahmed has been telling us we do need this rain. Meteorologist Elise Dolinar is in tonight for Ahmed. And Elise, the temperatures too kind of taking a dive this evening. Not necessarily Mike Woolfolk weather, I know, but we're heading in that direction, right?
Well, I mean, they're heading in the right direction if you do like the fall temperatures, but we kind of experienced summer and fall all in one day today. We actually saw high temperatures in the lower to mid 80s before that cold front moved through. That knocked us down into some 60s and 70s this afternoon. But those are the highs from earlier today. We saw sunshine to start the day, and then the front brought those showers and storms, a little bit of extra cloud cover, and of course, the much cooler air. Now, overnight, we're going to be seeing temperatures generally in the lower 50s. A few locations, northern counties, even portions of the thumb. You could potentially see some upper 40s through the overnight, but we're seeing mostly clear skies, and that's going to set us up for more sunshine as we head into your Friday. So that's a silver lining, something good, because we are going to be seeing cooler temperatures throughout the morning. We've been seeing the last few mornings the temperatures really warming up quickly. That's unfortunately not going to be the case for your Friday, but again, we've at least got sunshine working in. Overall, though, we're going to be keeping some below average temperatures through the day, and we'll talk about just how long these cooler 70s fall-like temperatures are going to be sticking around in the 70 forecast, and we'll get a look at your holiday weekend forecast as well. That's coming up.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Elise. Well, it is official. The new Flint police chief took his oath today.
So please join me in welcoming Chief Green. Raise your right hand, sir.
Mayor Sheldon Neely appointed Terrence Green as the city's new top cop last month. He brings with him 28 years of law enforcement experience. He most recently served as the chief in Mount Morris Township. He is also retired from the Genesee County Sheriff's Office. Green is a Flint native, and he calls today a very proud moment and says he's committed to improving the department.
Proud, makes me proud. Just being from this city and the things that the men and the women in this department, the things we're about to accomplish as a team, I'm looking forward to it.
Green's family, Flint Police Department staff, and several of his former colleagues were all there for this morning's ceremony. It took place at Flint City Hall. More locations are being added in Grand Blanc for families who need to pick up free meals for their kids during the school year. Grand Blanc Community Schools will do drive-through pickups for breakfasts and lunches for families who qualify for that free or reduced lunch. Pickup is at McGrath Elementary on Thursdays 2 to 4. They also added, though, Brendel Elementary and East Middle School, both with hours from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. also on Thursdays. And that meal pickup will start back up on September 10th.
Well, when it comes to politics, most people have their opinions. Some are quiet about them, others are rather loud. One thing we likely all have in common, though, is that we like when people agree with us. Back in early August, 400 people in 13 counties participated in an online poll. It was conducted by Opinion Access, commissioned by WEYI owner Armstrong Williams. That poll asked 11 questions. Tonight, Mid-Michigan Now anchor Rochelle Spence looks at 4. Does your outlook match the poll results? Here's Rochelle.
Masks have become part of our day-to-day lives during this pandemic. Governor Gretchen Whitmer is one of many governors who has required face coverings in public, but not all agreed they're needed. We wanted to know what you, our viewers, think compared to those polled. So we set to find out if you think masks should be required.
Absolutely. I think it should be left up to the people.
It depends how many people.
and common sense. Use common sense.
Now to the results of an official online opinion access poll, which was conducted in early August and commissioned by WEYI owner Armstrong Williams. The poll surveyed 400 registered voters from 13 mid-Michigan counties. 77% said they agree masks should be required. 21% said disagree. Next topic, Governor Whitmer's job in office. Do you think she's done a good job or not?
Michigan's one of the lower states, so I feel like the things she's done have been helpful. I think she's a little strong-armed in some of it, for sure. I'm going to give her a B-.
F. I think she's done a great job, and I would give her a B+.
B+. She hasn't been doing that bad, I'd give her a C+, C+ or something like that.
How about a -F? She's acting as if we are children, and we're not.
That matches up pretty closely with the opinion access poll results. 56% said they approve of Governor Whitmer's job so far. 42% said disapprove. Diving into this one a little deeper, 87% of Democrats gave high marks, but cut that almost in half at 44% among independents, 18% approval with Republicans. Same question, but this time for President Trump. Approve or disapprove? The survey shows 44% of respondents approve. That reflects 96% of Republicans, 45% of independents, and just 6% among Democrats. Final question. With just 2 months until the presidential election, does Kamala Harris as a vice presidential running mate make you more or less likely to vote for Joe Biden?
I wouldn't vote for him, regardless of who he had.
It did make a difference. I'm a real Democrat. Real Democrat, brother.
Female, African American, she's classy. I like her. I'm still undecided on who I'm voting for. But I think that she brought more to his ticket for sure.
Their opinions matching up with the survey pretty closely as well. A majority, 59% of respondents said it wouldn't make a difference. 23% of people said it would make them less likely to vote for Biden, while 18% said more likely. In Flint, Rochelle Spence, Mid-Michigan Now.
Thank you, Rochelle. Well, Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden will be right here in Michigan on Wednesday. No word yet on specifically where he will appear, but it'll be his first trip to the state since before the pandemic started. Stay with Mid-Michigan Now for updates on this trip and also full coverage.
President Donald Trump blaming local Democratic leadership for what he calls anarchy. I'm Atra El-Nashar in Washington with what he plans to do about it.
We first told you about last night. 7 Rochester, New York police officers are now suspended. The move coming more than 5 months after a black man died in their custody. Tonight, Mayor Lovely Warren says her city failed Daniel Prude, and she includes herself in that failure for not acting promptly.
Mr. Daniel Prude was failed by our police department, our mental health care system, our society, and he was failed by me.
In response to the recent violence, President Donald Trump is asking his administration to evaluate the federal funding given to certain cities and consider withholding it. In a memo, the president specifically called out cities led by Democrats. National correspondent Atra El-Nashar explains the president's plan and why some are questioning if it's legal.
In a memo to his administration, President Trump making the case for restricting federal funding for, quote, cities that allow themselves to deteriorate into lawless zones.
You have to be decisive, and you have to be tough, and you have to be strong, and you have to be willing to bring people in.
Taking issue with local Democratic leaders who refuse intervention from federal law enforcement, the memo specifically names Portland, Seattle, Washington, D.C., and New York City. Paris Denard with the Republican National Committee lays out the president's plan.
And if you defund the police and keep communities unsafe, you will be ineligible from being able to receive these federal grants.
The president tasking the attorney general to name other so-called anarchist jurisdictions based on refusal of federal intervention and, quote, any other related factors the attorney general deems appropriate.
Let it happen, because something has to happen to make these local Democrats officials actually serve the people and protect the people and keep them safe.
Some are already questioning whether this move is even legal, arguing only Congress can control federal dollars, not the president. Especially strong opposition coming from New York Governor Andrew Cuomo.
President Trump has actively been trying to kill New York City ever since he's been elected.
Cuomo calling Trump's memo an illegal stunt. Washington, D.C. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton agrees.
You cannot withhold money. You can withhold a few grants, but how many policing grants are there? You can't give total authority to one man. That's what he wants. That's what the Congress must keep him from getting.
This latest move by the president may face the same legal challenges that came with his order to withhold federal funding from sanctuary cities in 2017. That order is still tied up in federal court. In Washington, I'm Atra El-Nashar reporting.
Now, your certified storm-ready weather.
All right, well, the cold front, it's out of here. Same with the showers and storms, and winds have calmed down as well, so it's going to be a little more peaceful as we head into the overnight. Definitely chilly, though, so as you head out the door tomorrow morning, you will want to grab a jacket, but a pair of sunglasses as well. So you can see the cold front. It's well off to our south and east. It's a line of some showers still pushing through the nation. You can see right there, that cold front. Something else cool to watch are the temperatures. Ahead of that front, still warm. You can see the yellow shading, but we've got the cooler air coming in green, so we're feeling that here in Michigan. And as we head through the overnight, we are expecting temperatures mainly in the lower 50s, but a few locations could tap into some upper 40s. So I mentioned you may want to grab a jacket, a light jacket at least, as you head out the door tomorrow morning. You can see in West Branch, temperatures at 7 a.m. are right around 50 degrees. Clear skies will set us up for a little bit more sunshine through the day, so mainly mostly sunny skies. We might see just a little bit of extra cloud cover into the afternoon, but West Branch, you'll be seeing high temperatures right around 68 degrees. You'll be one of the locations that are only going to be topping out in the upper 60s. Mainly, I think we'll see those upper 60s in lakeshore communities. As we take a look into Durand, a little further inland, you'll be seeing temperatures topping out around 71 degrees, still holding on to mostly sunny skies. A nice day, albeit cooler than the average. Taking a look at Port Austin, you're going to be seeing temperatures topping out right around 70 degrees. Mostly sunny skies, just a little bit of extra cloud cover as we head into the afternoon. So tomorrow, just another great day to be outside. We will see that sunshine. You might just want to keep a light jacket on hand occasionally, especially in the evening if you have any plans tomorrow night. So here's a look at the futurecast. Again, we do have high pressure that's going to be settling in now. That's going to keep us dry tonight, keeping us dry for your Friday morning as well. And it's actually going to be keeping us dry through a good portion of the day. The futurecast is trying to pull in a few spotty showers into Friday evening, but I don't think we're going to see that thanks to that high pressure in place. We do have a front that's going to try to move a little bit further to the north, and that looks like it might give us a chance for a few light showers as we head into your Saturday morning now. Not looking at anything real widespread, but again, a few isolated showers generally around the Tri-Cities and south through your Saturday morning is pretty much all we will see. I think we could still see a few stray showers up until noon. Anything after that, though, I think we are really going to dry out and see more sunshine, but temperatures will be staying a little bit cooler as we head through your Friday and Saturday. But if you need to get out and wash the car, Friday, not too bad. Even Saturday, just a chance for some showers in the morning. Sunday, though, we'll see a chance for some showers and storms as we head into the afternoon, and it looks like we'll still see a chance for some of that activity into your Labor Day morning. Labor Day will not be a washout. We'll actually see a better chance for some heavy showers and storms by Tuesday and Wednesday. And as you look at the temperatures through next week, all in the 70s.
Thanks, Elise. Well, Michigan has its first now confirmed case of West Nile virus in a human. It happened in Wayne County. MDHHS also confirms 13 EEE cases around the state. Now, there are ways you can protect yourself from both of these viruses using insect repellent with DEET, maintaining window and door screens, using nets, and you can get a lot more information too on this by going to midmichigannow.com. Just search West Nile. Well, does Jim Harbaugh know something we don't? When he told the team the Big Ten might be returning. Jonathan Deutsch has that and more ahead in sports. But first, we want to show you what's trending if you head to midmichigannow.com.
Your Mid-Michigan Now Sports Report.
I appreciate it. We can play football. Thank you. Let's go play football.
I'm glad that they finally opened. but also wondering, like, from their perspective, like, why they waited so long to open.
I love y'all. Thank you. I love y'all.
Those were just some of the reactions of high school athletes in our area reacting to the news today that all fall sports are 100% go starting next week. It's naive to think that we are back to normal because of this, but it definitely makes it feel like we're heading in that direction. Football, volleyball, soccer, swimming, and diving have all been waiting for the word that competitions can once again begin. All fall sports minus football will have their postseason tournaments as scheduled. Football will change, but we'll get to that in a moment. Games and matches will certainly look and feel different as there will be limited attendance, but in a year of change and adjustments, this is just one more thing we add to the list.
I refuse to say the new normal because this isn't normal, and I don't want this to be normal. You know, we want to return to packed gyms and you know, student bodies that are supporting one another and cheering each other on, and community events that we can all pull together for.
They're fired up to play, so they're going to probably listen a little better than they ever have before. They're probably going to take direction a little better than they ever have before, and couldn't be more excited, couldn't be more happy for the kids and the moms and the dads.
As I said, football will look slightly different. Teams will play a 6-game regular season schedule, essentially starting with their original Week 4 matchups. Every team will play at least 7 games, though, as all teams will go to the postseason this year. The dates for the championship games have been pushed back just a little bit. The 8-player state finals will be November 27th and 28th. The 11-player finals are set for December 4th and December 5th. As we wait for more clarity on what's next for the Big Ten football season, Michigan offensive lineman Ryan Hayes revealed today that Jim Harbaugh is keeping the door open to possibly playing this fall.
So lately we've been just training for the combine. Our coaches haven't really told us much because I don't think they know either. But yesterday before practice, Coach Harbaugh did say, like, we could possibly play in October just to give us a little motivation. So just to keep practicing hard, we're going to be prepared. And so we have mentioned October, but nothing's for sure.
This is not a mirage. 2 real-life college football games are being played at this very moment. Central Arkansas and UAB. Right now, that one is 38-21 in the fourth quarter. The later game, South Alabama facing Southern Mississippi. It is 13-10 in the third. Yes, those are real scores from real college football games. We are getting closer and closer to some of the bigger conferences getting back on the field. And as you know, high school sports, high school football rather, just 2 weeks away. As for what your coming week will look like, Elise is back after this.
It's time to check out our Chime-In gallery now. This is a gorgeous shot here along the Asable River. Beautiful, a nice vantage point there too. Dawn captured this one. Thank you, Dawn, for sharing it and chiming it in for us. And a beautiful sunset there too. You know, some clouds, but you can still see it. Always nice to see in a summer in Michigan. Elise is here now to check in with our final forecast. Hey, Elise.
Hey, Steph. Yeah, great sunset picture there. And it was great that we actually saw some sunshine working in later this evening after a gloomy afternoon with those showers and storms. Good news. We've got more sunshine on tap as we head into your Friday. It will be chilly, though, to start the morning. Temperatures will be in the lower to some mid-50s by 7 to 8 o'clock if you're still heading out. So grab a light jacket and some sunglasses. Again, we've got mostly sunny skies on tap, perhaps just a little bit of extra cloud cover into the afternoon. But hey, we are staying dry. Great weather to get out and grill lunch and dinner. Why not? Again, we're going to see more of that sunshine. Temperatures, though, mainly in the lower 70s, but we could see a few locations, especially along the lakeshore, only topping out in the upper 60s. And over the next 7 days, we're going to be holding on to 70s for highs, so we're going to be staying slightly below the average, and we will start to tap into a better chance for some showers and storms by Sunday, but a few showers Saturday morning are still possible.
All right, that does it for us. Have a great night, everybody. The Tonight Show is up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow.